What's up guys, this is Rise and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a team that I've created that is really effective, led by Mew with Vigoroth as a safe swap and Mandibuzz in back. I am going to do a little bit of a different style video, similar to the FP Sticks Legendary Battle Strategies series. I'm going to play these battles in normal speed, and I'm actually going to be pausing throughout the video and showing you some different plays I make, some kind of high-level plays, and just some little tips and tricks there. You're going to see me overcome some okay leads and also have some positive leads, but I need to play a certain way to win in back by reading the opponent's back line and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this content. I'm going to be pausing the battles at certain points, and I'm just going to be taking you through my thought process. Once again, this idea comes from FP Sticks Legendary Battle Strategy, so if you guys aren't following him, go make sure to follow FP, one of the best content creators on the scene. And let's get into this. So I'm running Mew, Vigoroth, Mandibuzz, and in this first battle, I lead against a Pelipper. And right away, I'm already thinking, okay, Pelipper, flying, water type. I have Wild Charge, Flame Charge on my Mew. I know it takes 10 turns or 5 wing attacks for Pelipper to get to each Weather Ball. And I don't want to debuff myself before they throw the Weather Ball. So if they throw a Weather Ball right away, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to throw my Wild Charge before they throw a Weather Ball. Otherwise, I'm going to be debuffed and the Weather Ball will pretty much take me out. So we're going to play out this lead scenario, because I should at least be able to get shields off this Pelipper, or if not, one-shot it. And he goes for the wing attack he goes for the Weather Ball straight away. Right at 5. There might have been lag, so he might have been 6. And then, watch this. He's going to switch into a Galarian Stunfisk. And this is where I make an instant read here that I don't think a lot of people would make. So, I've been running this Mew, Vigoroth, Mandibuzz team for probably maybe 100 total battles now, dating back to last season. And I've come across a lot of Medicham double steal teams and a few Pelipper double steal teams. And I'm worried already that there's a Bastiodon in back. So I have a counter user, right? I have a Vigoroth, and I've lost to a team with this same composition before because I would switch in my Vigoroth, my counter user, against the Stunfisk. And I am thinking already, I have to save my Vigoroth for the Bastiodon in back. And this happened on stream. If you don't believe me, if you think I'm just saying this in hindsight, you can go watch this from my stream. Because this happened live and I was talking to chat through my thought process. So I'm ready to commit both shields here because I need to get rid of this, and I also want to win switch if I can. If I can win switch, and if I can put Vigoroth on Bastiodon, which I'm just thinking it is, and I can put Mandibuzz on Pelipper, I win. But the thing is, Stunfisk gets to its moves in 10 turns, and Mew, on average, takes 13 turns to get to each Flame Charge, because it's 14 and then 12, 14 and then 12, I believe. So I am willing to commit both my shields here. This Stunfisk still has a shield, and I'm hoping that they let it go. So I'm going straight for another Flame Charge. Each Flame Charge is boosting my attack as well. I was hoping they let it go. They don't. It's not worth switching out here, because then I would get switch locked. And my Mew is about to be taken out. So I obviously have no choice here but to counter down with Vigoroth. I get a 2 counter head start. In comes Pelipper. And I know from earlier on that the Pelipper at most had 1 wing attack, and I already had a 2 counter head start. So I'm thinking I should be good. Pelipper, I believe, wins CMP against Vigoroth. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to throw the Body Slam right away to ensure I can get off 2 Body Slams to take out this Pelipper. I am going to try and sneak in a counter. And you see me right there successfully sneak in a counter while the Pelipper is throwing their Weather Ball. The Weather Ball comes through. I am going to try my best to deny a fast move, and I do successfully. It kind of comes down to luck when they're the same turn duration. I find throwing 3 fast moves and then throwing your charge move tends to work for me. That's just what I like to do. I successfully get off this next body slam, which will be enough to take out the Pelipper. And then what's going to be in back? It is a Bastiodon. And we have no choice here but to fully commit to the Bulldoze, because a body slam will do virtually nothing. And we get there as the smackdown is taking us out. If this doesn't KO, it will put the Bastiodon very low. Double super effective damage, and it does indeed take out the Bastiodon. So Mandibuzz was never needed, right? And isn't that crazy that we didn't even use our Mandibuzz? But if we had like switched in our Mandibuzz, like switched Vigoroth, the Bastiodon would have taken out our Mew and our Mandibuzz, because Mew needs shields and a lot of health to beat Bastiodon, but Mew actually can in the 2 shield. And Mandibuzz just gets hard-walled by Bastiodon pretty much. Obviously, the foul play hits for neutral, but you're taking super effective damage against a super tanky Pokemon, and it's just not good. So, we come out with a win there, and we're going to go ahead to the next one. And I was able to get that win because I played a similar line before. I recognize that a common line is a fighter counter. A common line is a fighter counter and then double steal. So as soon as I saw the G-Fisk switch in, like, it wasn't super necessary for them to switch in. So I was assuming it was Bastiodon and back, and we ended up being correct in that assumption. Okay, next battle, Hypno. Okay. So Hypno, very positive lead. And I see Hypno lead, and I see Umbreon. So this is why it's, sorry, I'm pausing and starting a lot, but this is why it's important, not important per se, but it's kind of valuable to watch different content creators and know popular teams, because I think Vergiverg made this team and Zionic did a showcase on it of the Hypno Double Dark line. So I'm already thinking it's Scrafty and back. As soon as I see Hypno lead, Umbreon safe sub, I'm already thinking Scrafty and back. This is kind of an unnecessary play I'm doing right here. As soon as I saw the Umbreon, I kind of wanted, I could have just switched Vigoroth immediately, but I know that Mew's energy is really valuable because Wild Charge is such a great move, and Flame Charge is pretty solid as well to boost your attack. So all I'm doing here is pretty simple. I'm just counting to 4 Snarls, and then I'm going to catch on my Vigoroth. So it's kind of unnecessary, but I do that here. And the thing is, Vigoroth doesn't get same type attack bonus on its counter. So this is actually a much closer matchup than you may think. Even though I'm taking neutral damage and I'm inflicting super effective damage with my counter, it's a pretty close matchup against Umbreon. And I am knowing that I'm going to have to commit a shield anyway, so I just commit it there. I know I can survive a foul play from this range because these Snarls don't do very much. So I'm just trying to I can't talk. Oh my gosh. I just got done commentating esports for 6 hours. So I'm trying to time my charge moves to not allow a Snarl to sneak in. We're back on track. We can speak correctly. I let this foul play come through. I know it's not going to be able to snarl me down unless it wants to like double shield. They actually catch my body slam, which I'm completely fine with because he's going to be switch locked with his Hypno in here. And the reason I come in Mew, which Mew has to be afraid of Shadow Ball, right? So like Mew versus Hypno is not, in my opinion, it's a really good matchup. But if you look at the simulations, technically Mew loses in the 1 shield because the Hypno could potentially bait you with a punch and get to a Shadow Ball and take you out. So Mandibuzz is probably the better answer to Hypno, but I'm already thinking there's a Scrafty in back. Mew needs to avoid the Scrafty, and I have Air Slash Mandibuzz on this team for Fighter, specifically for Scrafty. Because if I was running Snarl Mandibuzz, Scrafty would beat my entire team. So Air Slash is pretty much for Scrafty on this team. And anyway, we get back here. The Hypno snuck in a Confusion, which is bad on my part. I was trying to deny a fast move, but I kind of an unnecessary risk. This Hypno They built up to Shadow Ball, I believe. But what I decide here is even if this is a Shadow Ball that takes me out, I still have a fully healthy Mandibuzz against a Scrafty and an Umbreon. And I liked my chances there, so I decided I didn't want to use my last shield here. And they do end up Fire Punching me, which makes me think it's probably Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. Otherwise, there wasn't really a whole lot of reason for them to bait there. I was actually expecting the Shadow Ball, to be honest. I go Flame Charge here just because I know it's going to be enough to take out Umbreon. And I didn't want to debuff myself unnecessarily. In comes Scrafty. And what you see me do here is, again, it's kind of unnecessary, but this is kind of like higher level plays. So I take out the Umbreon. Scrafty comes in. And what I don't want, right, is to like have the Scrafty like Wild Charge, have the Scrafty farm me down. Because if you look at my switch clock, if I Wild Charge right away, maybe I would have been able to switch anyway. But let's say I wasn't. Let's say the switch clock timer was a little bit less. What I don't want to happen is to Wild Charge and have the Scrafty farm me down. And I know it takes 5 counters to get to a power-up punch, and the Scrafty's probably not going to want to foul play at this low of health for me. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to count to 5 counters, since Shadow Claw and Counter are both 2-turn fast moves, and I'm going to throw at the same time as the Scrafty, and that way I'm avoiding the Scrafty getting any potential extra energy. I count to 5, I throw at the same time, I'm going for a CMP tie. Wild Charge is most likely going to get shielded. The Scrafty still has 2 shields. And you see it is indeed a CMP tie. Even if it wasn't, I was going to switch anyway to avoid being farmed down. But you see I was prepared for both circumstances. I switch into Mandibuzz. I do have Air Slash on my Mandibuzz. So this is essentially GG's. So you see 2 games in a row that were essentially wins for me. Because I recognized what the opponent's line was. And I was able to play it out from there. I think the first game was a better example because I would definitely not have won that game if I had made the play I think most people would make and switch into Vigoroth against the Stunfisk. This game, this was kind of hard to lose, I guess you could say. I guess some people may switch in their... No one would switch in their Mandibuzz against the Umbreon. This was pretty much 3 positive matchups for me. But I just had to make sure I maintained Switch, right? I just had to make sure I maintained Switch. And it was pretty much GG's from there. And I made some, like, just calculated plays throughout the game to make sure I was able to win. We come into our next game. And Mew versus Mew. This is a really tricky lead because you never know what Mew has. Most of them like to run Wild Charge Surf. And you're going to see what happens here is from experience, what I used to try and do in this matchup is I would Flame Charge and then Shield and try and Shadow Claw down. But oftentimes, if they go triple Surf and you try and farm down, they're still going to get to 3 Surfs even after your boost. So what I do now here is and I'm going to try to change it around since some people watching me might start running Mew and play against me in GBL. But I like to just Wild Charge and get out of there. Because you'll see what happens here. There is a little bit of lag that occurs eventually. So hopefully that didn't screw up our opponent's decision making too much. So you see me going up. There's some mutual lag here. And then you'll see in a second it all goes through. And I just go straight for it. I just go straight for it and I'm going to switch. Because both of my back Pokemon are honestly pretty good against Mew. And he actually lets it go. And I was not expecting that. In comes a Pelipper. I'm debuffed, so at this point, I'm just going to go straight for the Wild Charge, because why not? I either one-shot it or I get a shield, so 99% chance I get a shield here. And then, at this point, my Mew has been quadruple debuffed. So this is a situation, like, just get out of there. Save your Mew for later. And I've already gotten rid of a Psychic type, and this is a Flyer, so the chances are there's not going to be something super good against Vigoroth in the back. If he's already got a Psychic and a Flyer, like it's unlikely he's going to have something really good against my counter user. So I switch in Vigoroth because this is like a pretty even matchup against Pelipper. And I'm switching into my soft counter. He switches into Skarmory, and this game literally could not have gone any better. Because hypothetically, let's say I lose the lead. I come in with Vigoroth. I have to shield. They come in with Pelipper. And then it's Skarmory versus Mandibuzz and back. Like, that would have been terrible. So I preserve the Mew. I switch out, and I draw out the Skarmory. And now our Mandibuzz is avoiding the Skarmory. And Vigoroth in the 2 shield can actually win this matchup. So this game is pretty much set in stone. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Vigoroth actually wins this against Skarmory. I think our opponent was getting a little frustrated there. Stopped tapping for a moment. I take out the Skarmory there. Just fast forwarding a little bit. And then you see our opponent surrenders. So GG's to them. And then this is going to be the last match. And this one is a very short one. If I title this Mew Makes People Surrender, you'll see why. So Mew versus G-Fisk, because I have Flame Charge, this is a positive matchup for me. I think the only way G-Fisk wins this matchup is if they double bait with Rock Slide, or if they just like land the Earthquake right away, I guess, and then go straight Rock Slide. But you're gonna see kind of a tricky thing that I'm sure a lot of you guys know already, but something that you can do to really flip a game. So what I like to do here is I like to build up to 8. And also, one thing about running Flame Charge, Wild Charge, a lot of people expect Mew to have Surf. So this person's probably used to seeing Mews that have Surf. What I normally like to do is I like to CMP with them on the Earthquake, on the Flame Charge, because some people like to go straight for the Quake and then dip out before they take that Surf damage. So you're going to see what happens here. I wish I had this in slow motion. He makes a swap. He tried to catch as I was getting to like 2 Surfs or so. He swaps into Pelipper. And the Pelipper hasn't even appeared on my screen per se. It's only the typing. And as soon as I see that Pelipper's typing, I click the Wild Charge. And I'm telling, if you guys saw this on stream, I'm telling chat at this point, oh no, he caught my Surf with his Water type. This is going to hit for resisted damage. And you'll see he thought he caught the Surf, but he did not. He got Wild Charged, and he got one shot. And in comes Tropius. At this point, he's still switch locked. We switch into our Mandibuzz, and he surrenders, realizes the game is essentially over. So that's just kind of why reacting really quickly in a situation like that can be super effective. No pun intended. Maybe there was a pun intended there subconsciously. But you see the typing in the corner. You want to instantly make a decision. You want to instantly recognize what you can do there. And for me, if by tapping that Wild Charge so quickly, he actually thought he caught a move, which would have been a Surf on the G-Fisk. But in reality, it was a Wild Charge that took him out. And let's say it wasn't a Pelipper. Let's say it was like, I don't know, an Umbreon. You just want to react quickly. You want to switch into your Vigoroth. Let's say it was in a Azumarill. Click the Wild Charge. Same sort of principle there. So just reacting as quickly as you can, because you don't want that secondary Pokemon to get a big energy lead and then potentially flip a matchup. You always want to be the aggressor and kind of put the opponent on their heels, force them to be the one that's making these decisions if you can. Anyway, that wraps up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of a different pace and commentary. I see we're coming up on 20 minutes for only like 4 battles. So I was really talking a lot this one. I was yammering on. But let me know if you guys enjoyed this content, me like thoroughly explaining some battles rather than just kind of shoutcasting over them. If you do enjoy, please leave a like, comment down below, share it with your friends. I'd very much appreciate it. And all that said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.